Hello, Rita. This is Lisa. I'm trying to give you a visual sort of reconnect with what we did last night. I'm going to go over the different exercises, hopefully in some sort of order with what you have written. I'm just going to give like a couple reps of each one. So exercises on the floor. There was the tabletop opposite arm leg reach. So you want to make sure the hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, straighten out the back, then reach. So the goal is here, not how far you can reach, but how still you can keep the hips and shoulders, and making sure you keep the legs, obviously if you have a chair behind you, you might not want that. But one reach on each side is one rep. Then you're going to go to the bridge. So you want to have the feet about actually hip width apart, which means there's really maybe 6 inches or a fist between the thighs. So you want to keep the upper body relaxed, just squeeze the hips up, and this is the 30-second hold. A great way to practice doing it is making sure you're squeezing the butt and count backwards from 30 to 1. Then you're going to come on over and do the Supermans, which is basically a leg lift, arm lift. So it's a reach, 2, 3, then relax. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach, and make sure you're pulling the belly button tight in versus pushing the belly to the floor. Things that help, squeeze the butt to actually lift the legs. So from there, we're coming back up to standing. Single leg, toe touch. So I gave you a chair to touch, but anything that's basically a comfortable distance where you can bend the knee is fine. You don't have to worry about how low you can touch compared to me, but it should be like you can balance on one foot, then bending the knee, touch, stand, touch, and stand. Immediately going to the skaters, which can be as hard as you can do them. So this is that side-to-side movement. And the key is I like to move my arms, you can keep them still. This is also like a 30-second count. So once you get moving, just take 30, 29, 28. And next are chair squats. And these are kind of crucial for you to get these so you actually start using your legs to lift, not the arms. So if you can see your legs are at a perfect right angle, you probably need to bring the heels in a little more. So when you look over, you can see the top of your shoe, like the top half. So from here, you lean, put the weight in the heels, lift, and see if you can sit back down. I'm using a much higher chair here than we had at the workout room, so it's a lot easier for me to land softly. But notice I'm actually sticking my hips back and then bending my knees. This is basically, we're separating the lower and upper body part for this, so we're doing bicep curl, palms in, press overhead. Remember, it should see, like, just see your biceps outside the corner of your eyes, and my palms are facing forward. I'm pulling back to my shoulder, slowly lower. So the arms swing in front of the body. The elbows stay right at the side, particularly here, so they don't move behind my body. You had this move pretty well, so I'm not going to show this a whole lot. So on the floor, basically, you can do this on the bench. Ultimately, I'd like for you to be able to do this with the ball. It's just open. And if you do this on the floor, it is possible. Just make sure you just brush the floor with the back of the arms. Come all the way up. Remember, you need to see the top of the weight with your eyes, because when you can't, and you see the hands over your face, you're going too high with the weight. They need to come over the chest. fly with the lunge. So you'll want your green. So make sure you can keep the wrist straight and elbow straight when you're doing this, and you just want to give it a couple tests. Make sure it's the right resistance, because you're only doing 12 reps for the upper body. So the feet are wide, or as wide as you can comfortably go. So it's a lunge, so sticking my hips back, keeping my knee bent, straighten, tube fly. Knee back, straighten, tube fly. So that's 2 reps. We're just going to go with 3 stretches I'd really like for you to do. The in between the doorway, putting the elbows right against the doorway and stepping or leaning forward. Yoga mat, or anything actually that cushions the knee. I'm just using a little pad. So your goal is to lean far enough that you can push the hip forward, feel the stretch here. Sit on a ball or books or even like one of those little step stools and have the knees closer, the ankles wider, and see if you can start stretching the front of the ankle. In a real big nutshell, this is what we sort of covered movement-wise last night.